What's up, everybody? It's Kyle. Welcome into News from the Nexus. We haven't done this in a little while.
It has been a little bit, yeah.
It's been like 3 weeks, but it feels like it's been a year.
I don't know. Has it really been 3 weeks? Because we had the Julie interview in there.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, that's true. So it's only been 2 weeks, but it feels like it's been like a year.
Yeah.
Like, so much has happened. There's so much going on. And, you know, it's hard to keep up when we're not doing this every week. But we're going to stick to our every other week kind of.
Also, just like for a little fun, because I know you've been telling me to go there.
Yeah?
Shout out to the ladies at Glendale Nutrition.
All right. Shout out to my friend's business. What? So, I went to...
Berry Bomb Tea was a winner.
I went someplace way better.
I just didn't have time for lunch today and needed something to eat before I went and sat apparently for an hour to do my lease paperwork and stuff. So I got a shake, banana split, and
I got an orange slushy. I bet mine was better.
Probably because yours is not good for you. Hi, Pat.
Guys. It's true. So, welcome into News from the Nexus. We haven't done this in a couple weeks. We're back. There's a lot to talk about.
Hey, Hunter.
Including, but not limited to, Hamilton is out on Disney Plus.
Woo!
HBO Max is a thing.
Yeah, and I've heard good things about Doom Patrol on HBO Max. So
right. So I wanted to start with kind of, you know, we usually talk about what we've been watching, but I want people to chime in. Like, what have you been watching that's nerdy, especially in these quarantine-y times? What have you been watching that's nerdy? I have the HBO Max now, so I started Doom Patrol. Grant Morrison is a psychopath. You know, that's a thing.
I've heard it's very true to the comics.
Pat still hasn't watched Hamilton. Pat
fails.
Are you at this point? Are you just doing it to be a contrarian? Dirk, now it is me who is on your screen. It's true. But we need to dissect this, Pat. Why haven't you watched Hamilton?
Yeah, do you not like Joy?
Contrarian?
Do you not like Joy, Pat?
You know, I'm okay with if you don't like it because, like, you don't like musicals or whatever.
Nope. I still think you have to try it.
Right, but you got to try it. Watch Picard. But no, it's so if you have the HBO Go. Welcome back, Leonard. Leonard, we're on an every other week schedule, my friend.
Yep.
We had to take 2 weeks off to get on that schedule somehow, but we're on it now.
We figured out. Well, it's like you went out of town and I had like stuff and things, and so it took us a little bit to get where we needed to be.
Pat, it is 3 hours of your life that you have to commit to, but it's there.
No, so you can watch it. You can very easily watch it in two parts because there is a minute long interval.
Hours of your life.
Like, ultimately,
I'm not saying you got to do it in one sitting, but you just have to commit 3 hours of your life. Okay, so HBO Max, you need to watch Doom Patrol, you need to watch The Watchmen, and y'all, they have a lot of the animated DC stuff available on there. That is, you know, really top level animation, really good animated DC stuff. So between that and Disney Plus, I don't know why, you know, what else you need. As Amanda turns her camera off.
How did my camera get turned off?
I have no idea. At the bottom is the Amanda's now says device is not connected. Oh no.
We're good.
All right. We're good, yes. So what have you guys been watching that's nerdy? Pat watched Picard. What have you been watching that's geeky? You know, like I know it's not geeky or nerdy per se, but Friends is on there.
Mhm.
And Ross is definitely nerdy. It's a whole thing.
It is.
But it's and Disney Plus, like, they've got a lot of the Marvel Cinematic stuff that's just been really good too.
Hmm.
So tell us what you've been watching. Normally we spend a lot of time on what we've been watching, but I don't really want to today.
Yeah. I mean, just to touch on, I've just caught up on some stuff. So I watched Hamilton. I finally watched Far From Home for Spider-Man. I watched the entirety of The British Office and Rocket Man. Those are like the big notable things that I've watched. So for your music geek, your musical geek, your Marvel geek, and your British comedy geek.
Yeah.
Those are the bullet points of notable things that I've watched.
Yeah. No. But a lot of other stuff has happened since we've been gone.
Mm-hmm.
That aren't related to television, ironically. But in the last week or last 2 weeks, we found out that Fantasticon Toledo's been canceled.
Yep.
And moved to next year, which is sad for the greater Toledo area, but probably the right decision.
I think it's the right move because it's really hard to enforce all of the mandates and stuff that are coming down right now. In general, like how many people are actually going to show up? I think in general it's the right move because for peace of mind and just logistics.
Right. Well, and then there was a big news story today out of Toledo that they're knocking down the Hotel Seagate, which is one of the hotels. It's been closed for years. It's been a shell for years. Looks like something out of a weird post-apocalyptic Russian movie. But they're knocking that down finally. And Carlton Hotels, who owned the Park Inn, has sold the Park Inn or is selling the Park Inn to the city, and it will be redeveloped. So there's not even a hotel at our convention center right now. So that makes conventions puts them a little bit in flux. So it's probably the right move for them to cancel Toledo, which in terms of the local con season was first. Right. Drina Joe is here. I'm just waiting for her to yell at me about something.
Right.
But it was the first show up in the local con season, as it were. Next after that is Monroe Pop Fest, which is marked for September. They're still working on hoping to have that. But right now, there's a limit to how many people can be in one place at one time inside.
Mm-hmm.
So I know our friend Gary is working real hard on that deal.
Yep, and I know Michigan has put down that went into effect yesterday a masked in all public areas requirement.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of things happening in the world right now.
Mm-hmm. So I know Gary's working on trying to have Monroe, and we're in for Monroe. We're super stoked to be there. It's going to be a fun show. I'm already working on how we're going to redesign our booth layout to accommodate social distancing, aka I want to basically put a giant plexiglass wall between me and the world.
It was scheduled for sometime in August. I forget what the new date.
It was the same weekend as the rescheduled Emerald City.
Okay. Which didn't get canceled as well?
Huh?
Didn't the rescheduled Emerald City?
I don't know that for sure.
Okay.
But again, it's like I said, it's probably for the best with the Toledo show. There's a lot in flux with that convention center and that whole area. Like I said, there's not even a hotel you can stay in down there right now that's open. So it presents its own set of sort of problems and circumstances with that regard. Okay, it was canceled. Okay. So next up in the local scene is Monroe, which they're still trying to have. And then after them in October, Halloween weekend is Cherry Capital Comic-Con. And Pat can tell us if there's any news about that, and if he's allowed to tell us. But that is still on as far as I know, which we will also be attending up in the Traverse City. So, we're still hoping to have local shows, even though unfortunately Toledo was canceled. But like I said, in the end, it probably was for the best, seeing as how, nobody knows who owns that building right now.
Right, like it was already there was already wasn't there already construction occurring
remodel that was supposed to happen that's been postponed, all kinds of stuff. So I think Fantasticon made a really wise decision canceling and just putting all their energy into next year.
Yeah.
By then we'll know who owns the hotel. Hotel Seagate should at least be a few stories less. And they'll have had time to remodel the Seagate Center, and it'll be a beautiful venue for something like that. So, I think it made the right decision.
Well, and it's all much needed updates and stuff too.
Yeah, for sure. That place hadn't changed since since my entire life. It's like the exact same way. They added that Starbucks that time that was never open.
Oh, yeah.
There was a little Starbucks kiosk that never opened. What are you going to do? So I think it was the right call. And it, like I said, put the time and energy and money into next year and really knock it out of the park. Let's see. Other comic book related news as I pick up Velcro off the ground.
Why is there Velcro on the ground?
Velcro command strips for our photo light box that I have been using. All right. So, speaking of things that I've been doing, I don't want to go through them all. LOL. What? What?
Yeah, I don't know. What are you LOL whatting?
Trina, you need to be more specific or I'm going to bring you on the air. There you go. John says I have plenty of tickets.
Cool.
It's true, man. Like I said, I'm all about them canceling. I think Joe made the right decision. Come back next year and just absolutely demolish it. Okay. So speaking of things we've been doing, y'all know that we built this really dope website. Oh, Starbucks. Yeah, Drina, it's a kiosk that's supposed to be open during conventions. It's almost never open.
I've never seen that thing open, ever.
It's called the, I think it was the Express Cafe or something. Never, whatever. It was dumb. Anyhow. So we built this really great website, the Nexus419.com. And on that website, we have a thing called the Nexus 419 shop, which is where you can buy our things now, other than on the Comic Book Shopping Network. Obviously, those are the two places we're really selling right now until conventions are a thing again. And, we've got like 600 items on the website.
Yep.
But we're about to add a whole bunch more. Because over the last several weeks, I have been picking up really kind of amazing collections. Both new and vintage stuff. New stuff like Chew and Saga, and old stuff like newer stuff, and old stuff like X-Men 65. Yeah. The Return of Professor Xavier.
Very nice.
Anyhow, but we're also adding, starting, it is my hope this week, it might be early next week, we are adding new books that we'll be getting from our friends at Source Point Press, starting with them. And we'll be adding some of the other publishers as they become available for direct order, including, but not limited to, DC. Now that we've seen how the new DC distribution thing is going to go, I'm willing to take a small chance on it. But we will have those books available through our website as well. And pop figures, pop vinyls. We all like a good pop vinyl, especially if the head bobbles. I mean, I have several right there. Yay. Drina. I don't really have to wait.
I can't see it. It's just white. Oh, that's that Jay Fossett cover.
For Broken Gargoyle, if I didn't really want to. Just saying.
It's there.
I may or may not have a couple copies. But, you know, we're going to start with No Heroin and some Bug Bites and some of that stuff that's come out already. Skyline.
Mm-hmm.
Those will be available through our website once I have them in hand. I'm never going to list an item on the website that I don't have in hand. It's just a thing that I don't want to pre-list things on the website and then have them not show up. So, you know, if it's on the website, hi, Susie. You know, if it's on the website, it's in my possession. So we're going to start adding that, but we're also going to add pop vinyls. And so I need to do a little bit of redesign on the web store. Mm-hmm. So that will be coming down. I'm hoping at the end of the week. It'll be down for about 24 hours, and then it'll be back up just so I can get everything recategorized and get everything resectioned, I guess, reconfigured on the nexus419.com/shop. I think it's going to be good for us, you know, to have that going. I mean, we have a slightly new schedule on the Comic Book Shopping Network as well. For at least the foreseeable future, we will not be doing a Wednesday show on the Comic Book Shopping Network, but we will be doing probably a show. We're definitely doing a show every Thursday, possibly a show every Friday, and we're definitely on every Sunday from 4:30 to 6. So 7 to 9. Is that right? 7 to 9 on Thursdays. We'll either be on like at lunchtime on Fridays, like 12:30 to 2, or Fridays from 6 to 8. Mm-hmm. And then Sundays 4:30 to 6 on the Comic Book Shopping Network. That's one of the places where you can buy our things.
Yeah, so just make sure you're a member of the group and that they'll have the schedule for the week and stuff. So
Hunter, Thursday, 7 to 9. Put the kid to bed early. Tell him he's been misbehaving. I guess. But then, yeah, we're probably going to start doing Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Just because that seems to work best with my schedule. Mm-hmm. I have less occasion to cancel when I'm doing it Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Rob, thank you.
Yep.
All right. So what else? What else is news, Amanda?
Well, I'm trying to think. We've talked about that. As I say, you know, we're gonna, you know, you're doing the website, so you'll include some of my pops that I'm getting rid of.
And I'm gonna be out like as I go out to places like Walgreens to get my prescription, or whatever. I'm gonna be looking for pops. Mm-hmm. You know, and doing that kind of stuff. So we're going to have some fresh stuff. Mm-hmm. It's not just going to be old and collectible. Some of it will be new. Some of it will be fun. Mm-hmm. I can also order directly from Funko. So if people start buying pops from the website, I can order them directly from Funko.
Yep.
It's a thing.
That is a thing.
So, here's the other piece of news of note, I suppose, since we last were with you. Is the last time we did a video, we were talking about Tales of Barbaria being on Kickstarter. Tales of Barbaria funded at the last minute. So the expansion that is Kickstarter only will be there.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Jerry. The expansion that is the Kickstarter only stuff will be there. The game has definitely happened.
Yep. I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun. Like, believe me, that game, you're going to see us play that game. You're going to hear about that game a whole bunch. Greenbrier Games has a bunch of Kickstarters coming out, so make sure you go follow them on social media.
Yeah.
And get that information.
Yes.
Okay. Are we ready for the serious topic of the night?
Yeah, I guess.
We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on the serious topic.
But all my tea is gone.
Well, we're not here to spill any.
No, you're not going to spill the tea?
Do you know if they can still back it even though it's already funded? Hunter Brown, I do not, but let me find out.
We can find out. They might open it up through BackerKit to buy.
Yes.
I don't know though.
Let me see if she is on. She and I were supposed to have a conversation yesterday, and we both forgot. You know what? She's playing D&D right now.
Okay. Well, we'll get you that information, Hunter.
I'll get that information, let you know, Hunter.
Once we find out if it's available that way, or if there's a way you can pre-order it, we will post it.
I can order, I may be able to because of who I am. I'm going to get a little braggy here. I may be able to order several copies of the Kickstarter edition and do it that way. I just have to talk to Julie.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I know. Me too, Drina.
Drina, she lives 3 hours from us now, and we won't be able to see her for like a long time.
I know.
Because of stupid COVID. So, our serious news portion of the evening, which we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on because I don't really want to get bogged down in it.
Nope. We just feel like we need to mention it because it's happening and it's kind of at the forefront right now.
Right. There are some stories going around about
people.
Yeah, people in the comics industry taking advantage of the way the comics industry works. Basically, comics are based on a twofold system. You're either a big name guy working for a big publisher, or you're a freelancer making your own stuff or working, just working job to job. Some of the, in the comics industry for years has been based on something called work for hire, which is, if you heard the stories of what happened to Siegel and Schuster, who created Superman, and what happened to Jack Kirby and his lawsuits to get his art and things like that. It's the comics industry for years has had a problem with the way it treats new people. And there are some stories going around about the way the comics industry treats new people. And we wanted to bring it up. That way when you see it, you know that we know that it's happening and we acknowledge it. I have a pretty firm belief on this. Just because one of the names on the books might be a terrible, awful human being does not mean all the other names on the books are.
Right.
So there are creators who have created huge, massive, colossal works that are considered some of the greatest works ever created, who maybe are not the best people.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that the people under them still don't deserve credit for their work. So we are never going to stop selling books that we think are good.
Yeah.
I'll still sell you books that I think are bad. But just so you know, when we put up a book, if you don't like one of the creators on it, feel free to pass. You don't have to tell me you don't like that person. You don't have to say anything like that. You just pass. It makes the most sense. If you see articles about it, it's part of this is systemic change that we need culturally in this industry.
Well, and part of, I feel like I need to note, like, on the selling of things, like, a lot of the stuff that, like, we are selling, like, when we're selling it, if it has somebody's name, they've already been paid for it. You're not actually adding money to their pocket.
That's exactly it, too. Like, here's the thing. I'm not going to not sell a Stan Lee book because Stan Lee tried to screw Jack Kirby.
Right.
Ain't going to happen. It's Stan Lee. I'm not going to not sell a Superman book because DC wasn't fair to Siegel and Schuster. Just because, I'm going to throw a name out there. Warren Ellis is in the thick of it right now. Doesn't mean I'm not going to sell Warren Ellis books. Warren Ellis, still created some of the greatest comics of our generation, and the people he worked with did wonderful work on those books.
Right, and they deserve just as much credit.
Right, it's about that. It's so when you see stories about people, just know we've heard them, but that doesn't mean the rest of the names on a title need to be punished because one person was a bad person. The other side of that, and it's a story that I was just sent a little while ago, is there's a store in our vicinity that is going through some of this as well, with a little bit of a cultural problem, where the culture of the store was maybe not the greatest all the time, and some people had some problems, and we know about that. And that's part of the reason why I have Amanda on my team, is that Amanda is really good at being like, hey, you're being a jerk, or hey, that's not how that works, and pointing me back in the right direction when things do get a little off kilter sometimes. So, just so you know, when you hear the stories about the other store in our area that's having some problems, we hear you, and that sucks, and we are always trying to be better and to not fall into those same traps.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is the end of our serious news segment for tonight.
Yes, I was going to say, if we just want to put like that, the fine point on it, we follow the Dragon's Roost model, which is that everyone is welcome to our page.
Yeah, but they got that from somewhere else. So
they did, but they're the ones who in our area have it publicly posted.
Good, Pat.
Exactly what it is we want you all to be here in our community that is primarily online now, but like we want you here and we want you to be a part of it, no matter who you are, what you believe in, that kind of thing. So,
Pat, I also know if you were going to make a joke, it was going to be unfunny.
It's true.
So, probably good that you passed. All right. So now that we've had our serious news segment for the night, we've talked about television.
Yes.
And we've talked about comics. We've talked about what's going on with our store.
Mm-hmm.
The one other piece of kind of news is that we're starting to get a release schedule for films for the fall.
Okay, so we're going to pivot away to like fun stuff now.
Right. Like, Tenet is finally coming out, even though I won't see it because angry emoji. Thank you, Pat. Anyhow, Tenet is finally coming out because apparently if you spell things forward and backwards.
What are you going to yell at us for, Drina? What did we do?
Yeah. Yes, Drina, you can always yell. Anyhow, so Tenet is finally coming out. But so you tell us in the comments the things that were put on hold that were just about to come out when all this went down. Wonder Woman 1984. Mm-hmm. New Mutants.
Black Widow.
I don't know what Justice for Han is.
Yeah, I have no idea what that hashtag is.
Right.
I've not seen that trending on my Twitter.
I mean, is it that we really want to kill?
Is Justice for Han the fact that we all have to acknowledge the fact that Han shot first?
Oh, Han from Fast and the Furious.
Oh,
I don't watch the Fast and the Furious movies.
Got it.
I watched the second one and was like, I'm done.
That's what we're gonna, Kyle. This is what we need to do. I have the first 7.
That's 5 too many.
So I think we watch them.
Nope. When Ludacris Bridges had a big role, I'm like, I'm done.
Why? Ludacris is the best.
Oh, and when Vin Diesel wasn't in it?
So there's one movie we have to ignore, or 2 we have to ignore. It's fine.
Pretty much.
Now we find Sabrina.
Tokyo Drift? Really?
Vin Diesel showed up at the very end of that one.
Right, but like, so you got the guy from the movie Friday Night Lights
Yep.
and the guy from NCIS New Orleans in Tokyo
Yep.
driving cars.
Yeah.
I'm good. I would rather just watch like Smokey and the Bandit.
Pat, you don't understand the majesty that is the Fast and the Furious, and the majesty of the Fast and Furious is that they're just fun, stupid action. It's
Right, but there are other fun, stupid action movies I can watch, like Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's not no. There's heart in Guardians. There's not that much heart in Fast and Furious.
Yeah, but I can ignore the heart. I can ignore the heart. I'm capable.
Then I'm really surprised you don't like the Fast and the Furious.
So okay, we need to get back to the question at hand.
Right.
Which is, what are you most excited to see?
Pat's excited for Black
Widow. Leonard said Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Drina's just yelling at me.
Yeah.
The next Fast and Furious will be in space.
I'd watch that.
Wouldn't shock me. How are you going to drift a car in negative gravity?
You're going to drift on Saturn's rings. Thank you very much.
That's not how that works.
You don't know.
The Rainbow Road is not real.
You don't know.
This is not Mario Kart.
It could be.
Although if they made a Mario Kart movie, Fast and the Furious Mario Kart,
they might.
I might consider it. No, so what nerdy movies are you excited to see?
Drina, we're going to have a rewatch party.
Right. Drina wants to see Wonder Woman. I can answer for Drina.
Yeah, I would like to see Wonder Woman. I'm really excited, like Leonard said, about the Falcon Winter Soldier stuff. Mm-hmm. And the WandaVision. But that's all D+, so...
WandaVision.
It's the worst title ever.
Right. I'm against that name just... I'm against that movie just for the name, or that show.
Isn't it a show?
Right, I'm against it just for the name. I like everything about it but the name.
That's so true. I'm with you. They could have come up with something way better.
All right. So we're moving towards the end of our show. Mm-hmm. As we kind of talk about the movies and things that are coming out. Do you have any questions for us? Is there anything you would like to talk about? Something we could talk about?
You know what else we haven't talked about that's a movie that I'm excited for? Bill and Ted.
So my friend RJ put on Facebook today one of these has got to go memes.
A fish called WandaVision.
A fish called WandaVision. I'd rather see that movie.
Oh, Drina, Umbrella Academy. That is coming at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm. So, but he put who's got to go? Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna just pull it up so I don't.
Pull it up. I want to see. Yeah. Let's play this game. I like this game.
Yes. Now I will tell you that I had a real strong response. Almost a no-brainer response. One has to go along with all their work. Who do you choose? Robert Downey Jr., Denzel Washington, Keanu Reeves, or Will Smith?
Denzel.
Really? Mm-hmm. Glory, Remember the Titans.
Yeah, no, I know. I know what I'm losing.
So my problem is you got the RDJ right here.
See, Pat's with me.
You got the RDJ right here. Iron Man. You can't get rid of Iron Man. You keep him for that and his work as Sherlock Holmes. And see, I think you guys are all wrong, and I'm going to explain why.
I mean, I could maybe be convinced for Will Smith, but Denzel is my initial.
Leonard says Keanu.
No, that's
no. But here you go. So Denzel Washington, you keep because Denzel Washington is the one doing the art movies. He's the one doing the Oscar movies, right? Like that's the thing. He's maybe the greatest actor. He's maybe the second greatest actor alive right now behind Sam Rockwell.
What about Tom Hanks?
Third or fourth. Think about it. Sam Rockwell can play anybody.
Okay.
I mean, this is the man who played Zaphod Beeblebrox. Not a reference you thought I was going to pull out.
No, I knew that's exactly the reference you were going to pull out.
Mm-hmm. Zaphod Beeblebrox. So then you get Keanu, right? So he's making the art movies. Robert Downey Jr. is the reason we have the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You have Keanu Reeves, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, The Matrix. You know, he's still making high-level movies.
John Wick.
Right. So then you have Will Smith, who has never been able to pronounce his THs. Welcome to Earth. Right. Rockwell killed in Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Right. So he can play comedy, he can play drama. Sam Rockwell's great. Anyhow. But Will Smith, all he's doing right now is producing. He's not acting. He's not
but what is he producing?
That's the thing, is he's not really producing anything of note other than Jaden Smith's career.
Yeah. And he did make Wild Wild West movies, so.
Right, a movie with a movie with a Spider-Man.
Which, hold on.
A man whose lower half was Spider.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but he passed on The Matrix for Wild Wild West.
So, not great decision-making skills.
I mean, but Fresh Prince.
Have you rewatched Fresh Prince lately?
No, I haven't.
There are as many terrible episodes of Fresh Prince as there are good episodes.
Okay. Like I said, I could. Denzel is my initial thought.
James Avery and the guy who played the butler. When James Avery and the guy who played the butler and Alfonso Ribeiro made that show, you could have replaced Will Smith with just about anybody, and it'd have been just as good.
Okay.
So you lose Will Smith only because I think you're losing the smallest collection of work. Also, you lose that song Miami. And Boom Boom Shake the Room.
Oh, come on now.
Spring Break 93 is over, as is Will Smith.
Oh, that's fair. You make very valid points on Will Smith. Like I said, Denzel's my initial reaction, but I think I like where you're going with Will Smith, and I might have to change my answer to Will Smith.
Told you I could convince you.
Drina.
Drina, how are we even friends?
He's so salty about this.
All right.
He does have a good singing voice. It's true.
Right.
We don't have the
also, here's the thing, right?
He's cornered for
if you put Robert Downey Jr. on there with Hugh Jackman, this becomes a whole different thing because they're interchangeable. They are the same person.
No, they are not. What are you talking about?
Think about it. Like, they're both sort of shortish white guys with beards and goatees who play superheroes.
Hugh Jackman is not short.
Shortish.
What is shortish? He's over 6 foot, isn't he?
No.
Yes, he is.
5'8".
No, he was too tall to play Wolverine. He's like 6 foot at least.
Who?
Hugh Jackman.
He was too tall to play Wolverine? He played Wolverine.
I know, but that was always the big complaint is he's too tall.
Well, it's because Wolverine's like 5'1".
Okay.
Vern Troyer's too tall to play Wolverine.
6'2".
Yeah, that ain't right.
Yeah, it is. I just Googled it.
Well, I will stand by my fact that Vern Troyer is too tall to play Wolverine.
Drina is shortish.
No, Drina, you can just drop the ish.
She's short.
Anyhow, so do you guys have any questions or anything you want us to talk about? Anything you want to know about us or what's going on at the store, what we're doing, anything about the website? Oh, here's something we can announce. Amanda and I will both be part of hosting CadetsCon with Space Cadets Collection.
Hold on, will we?
Yes.
When is it again?
August 7th, 8th, and 9th.
That'll be tight, but I can probably come in for a little bit.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm in the middle of a move, guys. Like, I'm moving my house, so.
August 7th, 8th, and 9th, live on the interwebs with Space Cadets Collection in Houston, Texas. We have some pretty big names already kind of on the roster of our guests. Bigger than have been on our shows before when we've done these live conventions. So that's something to be excited about. There will also be some familiar names and faces on there. You know, like Drina Joe when I ask her. I haven't asked her yet, but she'll be on. You know, so you're going to want to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Who has questions?
Questions? You have Q's, we have A's. AMA? Ask me anything in reason. Do you have a fun little game we can play about who we're eliminating?
Yeah, do you want me to bring that back up?
No, I'm not saying bring that back up. I'm just saying, do you guys have a game we can play?
Is the lineup for no, Pat?
Not yet. We're just teasing it.
We're still looking. We got some time, so we're hoping to have the lineup sort of nailed down end of this week, early next.
Guys, consider this your save the date for Cadets Con.
Have you seen the trailer for Werewolf the Apocalypse game? Is that anything like the regular game of Werewolf?
I don't know.
I have no idea. Yeah, no, my game, what's the name for? The way I determine what games I'm going to play. Pat, it's like 3 weeks away.
Way more.
You know, normally we're pulling this stuff together like 3 days.
It's almost 4 weeks. So it's 4 weeks from this Saturday.
Yeah, Pat. Man.
Yes, I'll play Goonies Monopoly.
What?
Drina wants to play Goonies Monopoly the next time we hang out.
Oh, I love the Goonies. I hate Monopoly. Is there another Goonies game we can play?
So if not, somebody needs to make that tabletop game. That's all I'm saying.
Right, like, you know, Goonies, the card game. Monopoly takes forever.
It does.
I'm terrible at it because I'm bad at real estate.
The trick is buy everything and then tax everybody.
That's fair. So no, I'll totally play with you, Drina, but we have to play by my rules.
No.
Which are everyone has unlimited money.
No, absolutely not.
Everyone has unlimited money, and then at the end,
nobody wins.
Okay, we'll play that. No, everybody has unlimited money, and the first person to complain about having to pay for something loses.
So Kyle will lose.
Then I can go do other things. We should play some Tales of Barbaria. I have the original game. So we can totally play that while we're waiting for the new one. I have Barbarian Battlegrounds. But we'll totally play Tales of Barbaria. All right. Anybody else got any questions or comments or concerns?
Right.
Or in the case of, if you're talking about Pat, Snyder remarks.
Right.
No?
No, I don't think so. What? No.
All right. Well, if that's the case, we are going to get out of here, guys. We will see you all not next week, but the week after.
Yep.
For news from the Nexus. We'll see you all Thursday night at 7 o'clock on the Comic Book Shopping Network for our Thursday night poker night show. And we will be back then for sure on Sunday for our Sunday show.
Yeah.
But we will figure out when else we're going to see you very, very soon. So we'll see you later. Bye, guys.